Well, hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. And if it seems early to you, it's because it is. It's 10:40, and I don't know why, but I'm really tired today. And maybe that's because I didn't sleep as much as I could have last night because, I was busy doing the things. And sometimes it's so funny. Today was, I had my meeting at 10 a.m., which I woke up late for. I woke up late, not for the meeting. I was on time for the meeting, but I woke up later than I wanted to. It was like nine something. And after the meeting, um, I, you know, packed. I packed. And so like this morning after the meeting, like I went downstairs, I grabbed all my towels, I packed my bag, I made my bed, I folded the towels, I put them away, I put away the clothes that were on the bed. I made the bed so then that way when I get home, the bed is made. Um, and then why am I so tired? Uh, everything, I went to the store and I got a drink. And I came home and then my mom was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to New Orleans." She was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "I'm going to school for vendor fair." I ate a little bit and a classmate came and picked me up. And then we left. My sister's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "New Orleans." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I told you earlier." And she was like, "Okay." And then I think she was surprised because my classmate like had gotten out of the car to help me, and so it looked like somebody was helping me into a car. Um, but he came picked me up. We took off. We stopped to eat at Chick-fil-A, which I haven't been eating Chick-fil-A in forever. It was fine. And then today was like, I think we stopped at two Chick-fil-A's on the way, and we just talked about like a lot of things about school and how, because so I was just I don't know if you know this, but like when I was going to school, when I started school, I was just kind of like going. And then at one point, one of them invited me and was like, "Hey, we have a call on whatever day." I'm like, "You do?" And they're like, "Yeah." So they join us. And we start on the call because so my coach that I meet with on Wednesday morning, she's also in the program, but she's in class 6. And I just finished class 9. And we were talking, and I asked her how many people are in her class, and she's like, 9. And in my class, there's only 4 of us. And it's been 4 of us since the first class because after the first class, in the first class, after the third class, it was just the 4 of us that were still showing up, and the others had already dropped out. And maybe I don't know why they dropped out. I think the reasoning is, I don't know why, actually. I just know that they did. And I guess there's kind of like a lot of things I want to talk to you about. I was talking to her about how I had this opportunity to go to Vegas in September. And I was going great. And then the person emailed me today, and that is no longer a go. I canceled my flight. I'm not going to Vegas in September anymore because the direction of the company changed, and that's not the direction that I'm going. And so I just was like, okay, well, that's that. But on the plus side, I did see that Josh Groban is singing at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion in September. And I really like his music. So I would really like to go to a show. But that being said, remember, I'm wanting to go to his show in October in Vegas. So maybe if I play my cards right, if things work out correctly, I can go to his show in September and then I can go again in October in the Coliseum in Vegas. That would be so cool. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully, I'm making enough money by then. Um, but what was very interesting was because last night I wrote down 300 things, which I'm supposed to look at before I go to sleep every night. But um, I need to I need to copy paste that into a document and email it to myself. I don't know how that's gonna work. Anyways, I guess I could do the hotspot on my phone. And one of the things that I'd written about was I wanted a certain designer to design my wedding dress. I'm not going to tell you who that is because we got to keep it a secret, right? But um, YouTube came up, and that designer had designed two dresses, and I watched the two short that designer on two of the shorts, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I picked this designer. The dresses are perfect, they're beautiful. I'm like art, literal art, like, oh, so pretty. And I talked about how, so that was one thing. Um, Another thing that I wrote about was that I wanted to make a certain amount of money in August. And I've been talking to someone on Instagram about their program, and they're like, well, what about this? And I'm like, well, it sounds great, but at the time I don't have this money and I don't have a credit card, so unfortunately I'm not able to participate. And they said, well, what I'll do for you is, as long as you check in with me every day, I will, like, and then they're like, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just, this or that. Then I'll let you in, and we'll hold the price for you. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, I can do that. And it's just to show like seriousness. And so if I don't, then, he'll cut me from the program, which is, completely understandable because other people might want this opportunity. And so I, um, he agreed for that. And then what's also interesting is that my coach makes jewelry. She also made two shirts. So like she sent me two shirts. I wore one today. And it was funny because we went to dinner tonight and we stopped at Rally's, like Checkers. And I was like, hey, I'll pay, for the both of us since he drove. And as it turns out, they only charged us for one meal. So that worked out. So that was like a happy thing. That was a blessing, right? That I will accept. And then I got two t-shirts actually in the mail today. So I wore one on the way up here, and I'm going to wear another one on Friday. And so I got that in the mail. I got two free shirts today. I had the opportunity pop up. Was like, nope, not going to do that. And then we've got to New Orleans, and we stopped by, I came in, and my friend's place is interesting. It's a studio, like a literal studio. And I think the most interesting thing about it is there's this big bathtub right in the middle. Like big. I'm like, dude, this is the biggest bathroom. Like that's a legit bathtub. Like it's got steps leading up to it. It's like huge. If I'd known the tub was gonna be that big, I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm gonna like actually use it yet. That's what I'm trying to decide. Like I don't want to take a shower, but like, am I gonna take a bath? How long would it take the bathtub to fill? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But there's towels. There's like a cute little couch, a bed, which I don't really need much anyways. So I'm excited about it. So I'm very happy to be here, and it's quiet and it's private. And I'm gonna go to sleep early tonight. And I'm glad I brought my earplugs or my AirPods and my what is that? My sleep mask. And then tomorrow it's supposed to rain a lot. So my classmate said if he couldn't get here, we'll, figure it out. And then I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Or he said he'll probably come by tomorrow and will pick me up. But if not, then, it just depends on the rain. But it looks like the tropical storm broke up pretty well. So we're solid there. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting, like how I wrote down a few things yesterday. Um, and actually I wrote down a couple of things. One of the things that I wrote down was that I did not I turned down opportunities that were like that were not in line with my goals. That didn't, if they don't feel right, then I turn them down. I'm like, okay. And I have no hesitations. And I wrote about boundaries, and I wrote about being grateful every day for choosing to become the person that I was meant to be. And I'm I'm really grateful for that. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, like I wrote about things I wanted, like cars and specific jobs and agencies and things that I wanted for my podcast, my Instagram page, my YouTube, my TikTok, etc. And all the things that I want and I want for my life, and even in the impact with regards to impact that I want to have in my life. I wrote about all of those things. And today, like I think one of the things I even wrote was like I never had to worry about money again. And here comes, this opportunity comes, and yesterday it was like that's $397, and today it was like, yeah, it's still $397, but you can pay in August and I'll keep the price for you, and all you have to do is this. I'm like, oh, okay. That will work, and I am appreciative of like maybe that's what it is. Just I'm just like I maybe that's what it is. Just is that maybe that's what's called living in alignment, is like in like happiness. And also like I made that video yesterday, like, hey, you want to start a business? What do you want to do? Like people are like, oh, it's got to be hard. Like maybe we can start with free things, and maybe the free things you start with the free things because the free things are easy, right? And sometimes free, you just need like those little baby steps. And someone was like, please make more of these videos. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know what else. Excuse me. I could tell people to think of a company name, right? So I can say, think of a company name. And if you don't have money to register the LLC yet, you can buy the domain. At least you can buy the domain. And that will work. And so buy the domain, I use this website, and I use this website, CARRD, to build my webpage. And now I have all that, and I use AI to teach me how to build a website. And my friend, oh my God, this is like I told my classmate that I brought, all my books with me and I hope to sell out of them. He's like, don't worry, you got this. And I'm like, why do you say that? He goes, 4,000 people come to this event. Okay, so I think I have 55 copies. So I'm not going to talk to all 4,000 people, but let's just say people pass by. So 55 divided by 4,000 is 0.01375. It's like 1%, 1.3% of people that pass by could, like, all I have to do is sell one. And there's an event on Friday too. So potentially I could be sold out. That would be so, oh my God. Do you know how exciting that I could be sold out by the time I leave on Saturday. Do you know how exciting that is? Like, that would give me money. Like, that's the money that I need to, like, I have a bill due on I have a bill that's due on the first of the month. That's $50, right? And my AMC movie membership also needs to be paid at the end of the month. Actually, I think it needs to be paid on Monday. And I have to pay my brother back and all these other things. So a lot of the things happening makes me feel like I really am building the life of my dreams. And not just the life of my dreams, but the life that my goals that I'm looking, that I wrote, that like I literally spent hours writing them down, And so it started, and it makes me feel really good. And what is it? It started off with a kiss, and then how did it end up like this? So it all started off with a wish. about my dreams and my hopes and my ambitions. So thank you as always for listening. It really means a lot. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.